Absolutely not.
Taryn, Mark Weedman, not the Woods. Hey, there he is. There he is. Go.
There he is. He's muted.
Weedman, your mic is muted.
Muted. There you go.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hello. Can y'all hear me? Wave. Somebody wave.
Whoa.
Awesome. Let's see. Well, there's a lot of you here. This is cool. This is hilarious. Oh, wait, I forgot to turn my background on. Caleb's got a good one. Hang on just a second. There.
Oh, gosh.
All right, now we're ready. Okay, let's, I wish we could talk. This is annoying, but maybe. I just saw Wes and Tanner's. That's awesome. That's brilliant. Okay, so I don't want to keep you very long today, but I do want to talk just a little bit about what we're going to do. Oh, Nick's is good too. I do want to talk a little bit about where we're going with the class and kind of get us all on the same page so we can go forward. So let me just talk through kind of where we are, what's going to change and what's going to stay the same and what's going to be go away altogether. All right, so we'll do that kind of in that order. So what's going to stay the same is the logical argument assignment. So that's going to be due. We moved the due date back a week, so that's due April 13th, I think. But otherwise, it's going to be exactly the same. You should have all the material you need for that from class. I put if you want to look at the pictures again, I put them on Sakai in the resources tab. So you have access to all that stuff. So that stays exactly the same. And in fact, let me kind of show you where to go with that. Let me log into Sakai. I forgot to do that. Also, what's going to stay the same is the final exam will be the same, and the electives will be the same, right? So all of that stuff will be identical. So if you chose the one-page papers, those are still the same. If you want to do movie night, if you want to do cultural journal or the text thing, all that's the same. And if you're not doing a one-page paper, then you have to do, or a text thing, then you have to do a minor elective, and all that'll be the same too. All right. So all that stuff stays identical. And for the one page, for the logical argument, go to Sakai, right? So here's your Sakai page, and go to week 10, and it will give you. So you have to listen to a podcast for part of that. So here's the podcast. You can listen to that right in the browser, and then here is the guide sheet and the rubric for it. So just read through all that, and it'll show you exactly what to do with your with the assignment. Most of it is half of it. So you see it has two parts. There's this part, and then there's this part. So this part you've mostly done. If you did the cards thing before we left. So you have an outline, and all you have to do with that is just turn it into a sentence outline. So that shouldn't be a problem at all. And then this part is this is new. This is kind of extra work, this part here. But it really is just pay attention to the podcast and then answer the questions based on it. There are 2 questions, each about 750 words. So, about roughly 3 pages. The outline itself should only be about 1 page. They never should be any longer than that if you do a good sentence outline. So about a page. And then that's all you have to do for that assignment. Okay. If you have questions, just put them in the chat thing, and I can answer them as we go along. So is that okay? Anybody have somebody chat a question about any of that? So all that stays the same.
I was wondering.
What goes away is the thought experiment. So we're not going to do that at all. What's going to change is the workbook assignment. So the group work we've been doing in class, you get a grade for that. So we're going to do that in the forums, and you maybe already seen that. You should, when you get on Sakai, you should see. Well, here I'll show you. You should see your group. Well, here, go down to. So we're starting in week 12. So you'll go down to the week 12 forum, and just whatever your group is. If you're group A, you should be able to see it. You shouldn't see all of them. You should only see the one that's for you. So just click on that if you want to see what the questions are, activity 1, activity 2, and activity 3. And then, so what you'll do in these is answer the question. You can use the forum to sort of talk it out, but what I want you to do in each forum is have a thread in which you say, this is the answer to activity 1, and you just write out your group's answer to that activity, right? So for instance, the question here is, pick 3 aspects of our world that be radically transformed by an encounter with pure beauty. So that you'll just have a thread in the forum, say, Dr. Wiedemann, this is the answer. Actually, Will will probably grade them. So say, Will or Dr. Wiedemann, this is the answer. And then just write out your answer to that forum. I mean, to that question in the forum, and that's what we'll grade. We will pay attention that everybody, the same rules will apply. We'll pay attention that everybody participates, and that you end up with good answers to that, but that you follow a good process. But really, the focus is going to be on the answer. I think I'll send an email confirming this, but there are 3 activities in this one. I think I'm going to drop the 3rd one. So you really only have to do activity 1 and activity 2 for this forum. And we'll just make those due by the end of the week. We'll say Sunday, have everything due by Sunday. All right, let me see what okay, yeah, everybody sees. Okay, so any questions about that? For the first forum, I already had a question about where your definition of beauty comes from. And that's actually part of your work. So as a group, you'll have to come up with your own definition of beauty and apply that to the question. The nice thing is you've got a definition of beauty that comes from your logical argument project. So you can just apply that, just kind of share those as a group and pick one or merge them and have kind of a super definition and use that as your definition and just kind of build from there. All right, good.
Dr. Wiedemann, can you hear me?
For the logical argument, is it 1,500 words for the entire essay or just for the second part? Just for the second part that you haven't done yet. The first part is just a sentence outline. That's a good question. For the logical argument, if you look in the chat thing, the logical argument has 2 parts. The first part is just the sentence outline, the outline that you've already done. And the second part is the essay, the 1,500 word essay, which you'll do using the first part and reflecting on it in light of that podcast I have you listen to. Right, so there's no word count for the first part. You just do the outline. And remember, you already have an outline from your cards, right? So like if you did the repetitions, then you should have 3 or 4 clusters of cards, and then you labeled each one of those clusters. So the label will be point 1, the individual cards will be A, B, and C, and then the second label will be point 2, then A, B, and C, right? Everybody remember that? Thumbs up. Yeah, okay, good. And so just write that out and then turn that into, each line becomes a sentence, and use that sentence to sort of build your argument. And if you have questions about that, I think what I'll do, that was a good question. Maybe what I'll do is just offer a Zoom session, maybe end of this week or early next week, for anybody who's interested, and we can we can sort of talk through it. And if you want to share your outlines, then we can kind of look at those and kind of get a feel for a more specific feel for how that's going to work. But it's really pretty straightforward, and you've done most of the work already, so there shouldn't be a significant problem with that at all. But I'm happy to help too. It's easier to describe it in class and kind of show you on the board, which we can't really do, but we can do it this way and it'll work. Somebody asked in the forums how you know which one you're in. My hope is that you should only show, are you seeing all the groups when you look in the forums? Oh, shoot. Okay, I actually thought you'd be able to only see one. We'll see if we can set it so you can only see one. But otherwise, yeah, what everybody's saying is go to site info and see which group you are, and then just get into that group and go for it. All right, it may be a little extra step, but it'll actually work. Okay, and once you figure it out, then you'll know going forward, and you'll remember each other too, hopefully. Okay, those are good. Let's see, anything else? So what we're going to do then with the class going forward is probably for the material, like the actual formal material that will be on the final exam. I think we're going to have one day in which I just upload a presentation, like a short PowerPoint or me just talking or something like that. And that'll just be a recording, so you can watch that asynchronously anytime you want. And I'll probably do that the first of the week, and then the second of the week we'll host a short Zoom session like this in which you can ask questions, and I'll do a little bit of content. But mostly I just want us a chance to connect and kind of talk this way, which I think is pretty helpful. So we'll probably do this again the next Friday at the same time, and just open this up. And if you can't make it, try to make it. But if you can't make it, I record them and I'll just upload the video too, so you can kind of see where we are. All that material, so the material that's in the presentation and whatever we talk about in this session will be the material that goes on the final exam. Final exam will only cover from week 12 to the end of the class. So really not that much. We're going to pound through a lot of stuff in a fairly short period of time, but that'll be the formal material of the class. I think that's it. Any other questions? That you can put in the chat, or just, I can't see everybody all at once. I say just wave your hand, I'll unmute you, but I can't see you. Everybody all at once. Let's see. I mean, it's weird here. We really miss you guys. But I understand why we're doing it, but it is kind of weird on campus. And my dog just doesn't have anybody to bark at. Like, he just sits on the porch and he's all lonely. So somebody needs to come back so he can bark at you while you walk down to your cars. Anthony, what was your question? Just type it. Or unmute yourself and just ask it. It's fine too. All right. Well, if nobody's got anything, I think that's just how we're going to go. That's how we're going to go forward. It'll be, it's not ideal, but it's okay. I think we'll get a lot of learning done and set us up for next time. And I meant what I said. I really missed you guys. You were a good class, still are a good class. It was fun hanging out with you. But Zoom is good. We will Zoom and do well. It'll be good. Okay. Well, if nobody has anything else now, then I'll let you go. And just start in on the forums right away, and we'll just make all those due on Sunday night, Sunday by midnight, and just kind of get into that rhythm. And if you have questions, send me an email and I'll reply. And if it's a question for everybody, I can just reply, send an answer out to everybody else. And let's see. Yeah. And if somebody wants to do, if you want to do a Zoom session about the logical argument, just shoot me an email. If I get, 5 or 10 people, then I'll set it up for everybody. Otherwise we can just do it one-on-one.
Question.
All right. Anything else?
Dr.
All
Weedman,
right. It's good to see you guys.
I have a
We
question.
will talk at some
No.
point soon. Bye, everybody.
I have a question.
Waiting in front of my camera.
Can you
All
hear
right.
me?
We'll see y'all.
No, Dr. Weedman.